You're a friggin' moron.
Kaboom!
Welcome back, everybody.
Sound like this.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the AIB Show. This is Amit
and Dominic.
Coming
back like vertebrae.
There is new episode, new year, trying some new stuff.
Amit moved.
Yeah, that's right.
And
new location.
I lost my studio.
Yeah, where are you?
Studio, my son's
bedroom. Your son's room?
Yeah.
Where's he?
At school.
Oh, no, I didn't know school started yet for kids. I thought it started like next week or something like that.
No, it is next week, bro. It's Monday. Come on.
Oh my God, I want to slap you. You're such a friggin' ridiculous fool. All right, let's get moving. What you got?
What do you
got something you want me to go? All right, first things first. I'm going on my list of things here to chat about. Did you know there's a Chapelle special out there?
Yes.
Did you watch it?
No, not yet.
Oh, you?
I actually haven't watched any of them for years. I saw he walked off. I know a few people who went.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you about too. Keep going.
In South Florida, a few people who went to watch him. He had like a 5-day stint, but I think the third day he walked off after a few minutes because he caught somebody on the phone in the audience and just stormed off.
Is that what it was? Is that the excuse he used? And I mean, I have no, like I told you, I find him not funny. So I haven't watched any.
And like we told you before, Puff got a little black Twitter attacked.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, except that was
on TikTok.
Yeah, yeah, on TikTok. That's right. I was gonna say it wasn't even Elon's white Twitter. It was just TikTok. But yeah, no, it didn't. Apparently, my opinion doesn't hold water because I'm not black, I guess. So I can't say anything, which is kind of foolish. But I find his comedy to be like it's horrible now. It used to be awesome. Loved him back in the day. And now I just don't need to be yelled at.
I'm gonna go and watch because I honestly haven't watched the last couple of years.
Okay, so I didn't. I watched everyone till this one.
What do you call those somethings at the beginning of SNL?
A monologue.
Monologue. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. I've loved. He's had 2 in the last few years. I thought they were amazing. And I saw something after George Floyd. He did like that 9-minute thing. So based on that, I'm still a huge fan. But let me go watch the specials.
Yeah, you let me know because I'm definitely not. I'm not watching this one because I already wasted my time watching the previous many.
So you're saying he's overrated or washed up?
Oh my! Oh, done. I'm saying he's done. I'm saying what he's doing right now. Hold on, I don't put it the same way, by the way. It's not just him. Have you seen Chris Rock's special recently?
No.
Not funny.
You know who I did go see?
No.
Damn, I can't remember.
Just when you answer the question, based on the question you asked.
Eddie Griffin. Did we talk about this?
Oh yeah, no, I heard about that. Yeah. And I was like, he's still doing stuff. And I said in that tone,
he was great.
He was good.
Yeah.
All right. Some of these cats are good. Like, okay, I find Kevin Hart hilarious.
Kevin Hart is the funniest person to me.
I think he's awesome. Many people. He's not the funniest dude to me. Oh my God, I'm forgetting the dude's name. The white dude who I post all the time on IG. He's this dude from Tennessee, and he is just the best. Oh, it's gonna bother me. I'll find him right now. He is Bill something another, and the dude is just amazing. And he tells he doesn't curse or whatever, but everything he tells it in a very just borderline monotone way. Like his inflection is very, very candid, and he plays into being just a really dumb, simple man, and he is neither, and it's so friggin' amazing. I'm gonna find it because I post him on IG all the time, and he's one of my favorite.
Random fact of the day: Amit once did a stand-up routine.
Yeah. Actually, I've been talking. One of my boys, Gabby, who may or may not be watching, I doubt it, but he and I have been talking about doing it again. Not the same one, but going and doing stand up again. We just haven't.
Wait, it's a duo?
No, just him doing stand up and me doing stand up at the same night. This way we kind of support each other. But oh, Nate. His name is Nate Bargatze. That dude, awesome. Did you watch? There's an SNL clip that went around where they're talking about it was like doing Revolutionary War, and he was playing the president, or he's playing the army general, and he was talking to he was talking like four Confederates, and he was like, or four, not Confederates, four of his military folk, and he was like,
there would be Union soldiers. I saw you couldn't remember that.
Yeah, thank you. And he was like, oh, I'm sorry, dude asked me a question, he could remember his own answer, his own question, questioning me, and he was like, they're talking about this whole metric system. We're going to start a new world where we're going to do all these things. We're going to play a game called football, and they go, awesome. We're going to play with our feet. He goes, no. We're going to play with our hands. And he goes, okay. But then, and he goes, so do you use your feet at all? He goes, sometimes. But Why do we call it football? Because that's what we're gonna do. Because we're a free America. And he went this whole diatribe, and it's friggin' ridiculously hilarious. And I highly recommend everybody watch it. It's from SNL last, I think it's back in November. But Nate Bargatze, amazing comedian. But to the overall point, I don't find Chappelle hilarious at all. I don't find Chris Rock funny at all in the last two ones. It's a lot of yelling and a lot of it's just not witty. And Chris Rock and what's his face? Kevin Hart have this comedy doc on Netflix that I am reluctant to watch. I haven't watched it yet. I'm reluctant to watch.
Wait, did you watch? I watched. I love all these stupid movies.
Don't tell me what.
Marky Mark and Kevin Hart on Netflix last year.
Keep going. I know it. I didn't watch it. Oh, Kevin I didn't watch it.
Like married man, and Marky Mark's a single guy. It's pretty funny.
Hold up. Marky Mark's a single guy? No, yeah. I didn't watch it. But also, you see, Marky Mark has this family action film on Apple, which is just what you would expect, just mediocrity at its best. And Kevin Hart has a heist film coming out on Netflix.
Oh,
where they're like robbing a plane, and it could not look any more cheese tricks.
It looks well food.
It looks so bad. It looks so bad. But yeah, either way, point being, not a fan of Chappelle anymore. So when you watch this one, let me know if I'm wrong and if I should watch it.
I bet you're wrong.
I doubt it, but you let me know. Going down the path of the same dynamic, staying in the film and TV world, Mickey Mouse of a public domain. So now there's 2 horror films that are going to come out with original Steamboat Willie.
Oh, didn't that happen with Winnie the Pooh?
It did. And they made a horror film as well. Because that's where you go first.
I can just go. Can I just do anything with Mickey? Like I can go find Mickey Mouse on a website and print on a T-shirt?
Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse. The very first version, not current Mickey Mouse. Current Mickey Mouse still got some years on it. Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse, yeah, you can do it. It's public domain. Do whatever you want. There's a couple other things like that fall in public domain you can mess with. Another thing here. So I ask you generally as a consumer. So Amazon Prime, Netflix, Hulu, et cetera, they all have new tiers of service.
And they're pissing me off.
All right. So they're okay. So tell me more. So these new tiers of service now offer cheaper service, by the way, but with ads. Are you inclined to pay less, knowing the frugal person you are? Or are you inclined to pay more to not get the ads? Like, do ads bother you that much? Like, have you come to the point where it's worth more money to watch an ad? Okay, so your time is still more valuable.
It comes to the point where I will not still pay more to get rid of the ads.
That's what I'm saying. You will be like, I'll pay less and I'll watch an ad and I'll walk away and come back. Because remember, you can't, at that point, you can't fast forward ads. Now you're going back in time.
Yes.
Right? Now you're going back in time, pre-TiVo time or whatever. You're going back to when you have to literally sit through a commercial or walk away.
Yeah, I've been doing it. It's like LeBron, where LeBron said he wouldn't pay for not Spotify. What was the one before? Whichever was the one before. And
anyway, okay.
Dwayne Wade was clowning him, saying he's so cheap. He's a gazillionaire and he won't pay to get rid of the ads. He said, "No, why would I do that?" And they want.
I don't. Hey, my Spotify's got ads.
Are you have free Spotify?
Oh no, do I have free Spotify? Yeah, I think I have free Spotify.
Yeah.
It doesn't kick in as much as it did in the past. But yeah, I'm not paying for that stuff, dog. Like, I don't care enough. Like, I legit don't care enough. And so I was talking to one of my boys, Mark. So Apple, Prime, Amazon Prime sent him a thing, or there's a thing right there saying, hey, kicking in end of January, it's like January 25 or something like that. They're going to switch over to showing ads. And if you don't want the ads, you got to pay $2.99 extra to turn them off. And he was like, "Oh, I already paid $2.99." I was like, "They're not getting another $3 from me." Like, I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, "You've got to be joking, man." I was like, "Give my man, come on now."
Same. I'm doing the ads.
Yeah, I was like,
it may not even logically make sense, but I'm doing the ads.
Yeah, give me all the ads. Like, there's no logic for me to pay an additional dollar amount. Like, I'm not doing it, right? But also Netflix, same thing. Netflix is a cheaper version. So if Netflix tries to bump up the cost, they haven't done it to me yet, so I'm cool. If they try to bump up the cost, I'm gonna go down for the commercial version. Now, I don't know how that's gonna affect, mom in Jamaica. So we'll figure that one out when I get there. But yeah, I'm not paying money for this. And then we continue down this path. Did you know the Olympics are this year? With that look on your face, I completely forgot. I literally forgot the Olympics are this year because there's like 30 different country elections this year for president and prime minister. And then I was like, that's pretty important.
You know why I didn't? Because it's only been 3 years because of COVID. It got pushed.
Oh, I barely watched that one too. Yeah. Not watching this one either. But the reason it brought to my attention is your boy Snoop Dogg is going to be a correspondent.
And that his correspondence last year with Kevin Hart, or not last 3 years ago, were phenomenal.
See,
you didn't think so? I thought they were amazing.
I didn't watch. So
they
yes,
were
I don't care.
So good. Now the problem is they had clips like 10-minute clips, 15-minute clips. Like, is he going to be doing longer stuff? I don't know if he can hold.
I have no idea. It just says that he's going to be a correspondent.
They were so good.
It
hilarious,
blows my mind,
entertaining, and just And I don't find Snoop like really funny or anything, but talking about Olympic sports and bringing the Snoop aspect to it, when he had Kevin Hart crying over and over and over, like, he was great.
But that's because he was coming off as like the less than savvy, sports viewer, if I recall from like clips that I saw. Like
some of them with like a question and horseback riding.
Yes.
But like with regular sports, he was just giving his opinion,
Yeah, I don't plan on watch. I mean, I don't watch at all because it's just way too much. But this one's in Paris, so these time zone wise, you can get away. I know there've been some in like Japan and wherever else that make it a lot more difficult. But yeah, so that whole Snoop Dogg thing kind of caught me off guard, and I was like, all right, we'll see what happens there. You want to get pseudo heavy?
You already know the answer to that. Let's go.
That was actually a weight joke, and there's that. But also into subject matters. No. All right. So simple subject matters. Simple pseudo heavy subject matters. The Harvard president.
Yes.
All right. Where do you stand on this whole thing? Because it was Harvard, and I think Penn, the president of Penn, also resigned. I think it was her. There's somebody else. There's 3 presidents that are up there. Harvard is number 2 to resign based on anti-Semitic.
No, well, technically, Gay technically didn't resign. Technically, because of the Israel conflict.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yes. Okay. Fine. If you want to go by the letter of the law, sure. Technically, did not resign.
It was for plagiarism concerns, of which the author of which he was quoted to plagiarize said, no, that's not plagiarism. To which independent review said that's also not plagiarism. And she resigned from that. The backlash. There's also, how do we get here? One of the biggest donors to Harvard, who was very anti-her, came out and said that, alluded to the fact that she only got her position because she's black, right? Trying to be more inclusive and woke and everything. So, it's an interesting. Did you see the Congress hearings? Or I don't know if I call it hearings.
They were foolish.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, I watched I was like, you've got to be joking. And I stopped. Like a lot of these quote unquote hearings are so foolish.
The irony is
the questions.
The irony of that congresswoman who was asking the questions.
Yeah.
Huge Trump supporter.
You think?
Huge.
You can tell by just the foolish questions that were being asked by her specifically.
Huge.
But it's not even that. It was just.
I don't know how foolish I don't want to say foolish, like, because Gay and the others were giving or kind of the answer she wasn't looking for, right? And she was kind of phrasing the questions in the way that weren't particularly accurate with what the student body were doing. You
make a general statement and you have the person on. It's like if somebody were to ask Trump, which actually I would love if it ever happened, right? How many women have you raped? That's my question, right? The assumption there is you've raped somebody. Give me a number, right? But that's not the question they asked. So she asked the question the same way, right? It was just that where no matter how you answer it, you were admitting to some falsehoods, right? And that was what. So she was trying to be tricky, but she's not that savvy. And these presidents were like, and they would answer the question, right, in the way it should have been phrased, and that causes back and forth. And I was like, this is kind of foolish, and I don't want to do this anymore. Because you can see how the question is so leaning and leading, right? Like I literally want somebody to ask Trump, how many women has he groped? Because if he said he'd do it all the time, he's literally said it. And just be like, hey, how many women have you groped? Or even better, how many minor women have you groped? Like just to leave it like that, because it's not like he hasn't, based on things that he said. That's not me. He said so. And this is why I find it so funny but you can't ask that question apparently, or nobody wants to ask that question in that way. Either way, that's why I find these things very foolish, the way they were phrased and the way they kind of come off and like, and the fact that she's resigning is also, it's interesting to me how it all came to this point, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think in my eyes, she's resigning because her staying there is going to harm the school financially, unfortunately, from the big donors, right? And I read an interesting article by, I see why you smile. I'm going to mention why in a second. Interesting article by a Jewish individual who said their concern was what's happening here is simply going to exacerbate and make anti-Semitism worse. Meaning, those who are pressuring Harvard, these donors that are withholding tens and hundreds of millions of dollars, by and large are Jewish. And they're the ones who have forced out this president indirectly or directly. Therefore, it goes to that old prejudicial stereotype that what? Jews with their money control blank. The world, the government, business, entertainment. And that's what's essentially happening right here. So all this is going to do is make anti-Semitism worse, prejudice worse, things of that nature. So this isn't helping.
I would say if she were white, I think it would be even worse, to your point. Because then you would have literally the people who were anti-Jewish, right, in that scenario, right, would come out even more, to your point, following that thing. The fact that she's black, I don't know if you're going to get the same level of outcry, right? Because it, again...
Oh, but I disagree, because you have that mindset within Black community too, from some people. It's just any community.
No, hold up. I'm not saying she's not going to get that from the Black community or support from the Black community. I'm just saying that voice is, it is what it is. It's not as loud. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that people...
Are you saying... I'm saying that there are going to be certain people who look on this and say, oh, Jews controlling, look what the Jews did again, right? They control this.
Yes.
You're saying if she was white, it would be more
Worst.
people would be saying that?
Yes.
I don't get it though, because I think Black people are probably saying this too now. She's Black.
I'm not disputing Black people are saying this now. The fact of the matter is, have you heard a lot from that? I'm saying if it were...
No, I haven't.
I'm saying your Fox News of the world would have run really, really, really high with this, right, at that point, because there is obviously a significant number of the population who are that, right, who would support. Now, the fact that a Black woman in this scenario has been undercut, however you want to phrase it, right?
But to your point, I think this talks about something else. The fact that she is a Black woman, advocacy, earned or not, is much lessened.
Well, so that goes into my next point, which is DEI. So you're familiar with DEI?
Yes.
Diversity. Come on, keep going.
Equity and inclusion.
There you go.
I am almost Black.
That's why I was like, come on, now you got this, please. So DEI is now also being criticized as a whole thing because of exactly what you just said right there. There was the assumption that she got her position because she was Black, and they were subscribing to a DEI, not mandate, but a DEI culture, if you will. And the DEI culture should never have been. And now we're in a place that we had this person who was a plagiarist, unqualified woman, right, to the position, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm using her as an example, but this is going bigger. So many corporations post George Floyd created DEI positions, right? Had a big thing about inclusion, all this stuff overall, on from film and TV to this, that, and so on and so forth. And now many of these positions are now vacant, and many of these positions are being pulled down. And you have people like Elon and a bunch of people, go figure, who are anti-DEI. And then you've got Mark Cuban on the other side who's pro-DEI because he finds it to be valuable. He's like, how is diversity hurting my business? It is not, et cetera, et cetera. But Mark Cuban is also in a very interesting position to do that because of the business he's in.
Right. But the irony is, how many over the history of this country, white males have gotten positions that were not earned, whether through nepotism, goes back to my initial, the good old boy network. They're not earned.
Goes back to my initial situation. My initial claim was, had she been a white person, you'd had a different claim. But she's not. She already got there because of DEI. Had she got there because she was white, the assumption wouldn't be.
But we don't know she got there.
No, my point is, this is the perception I'm saying. This is
right.
I'm assuming she did not. I'm saying that the view or the perception of how she got there is based on a DEI.
Yeah, I mean, the subconscious thought is usually any person in power, anybody, not a person in power, a substantial position. The thought process is just automatically thinking that, which is wild, you know?
And anybody in power of color. Yes.
Yes.
right? But that's why I'm saying, had this been a white male or whatever else, that assumption would have been lost, obviously, because that person got there based on credibility and qualifications, etc. Right? And then he or she, he's being ousted because of the Jewish minority who run things by money, etc. So that's why I was saying that I feel would have had more legs. All hypothetical, obviously, but this is kind of where I assume that you would have had a different kind of viewpoint on what's going on there. So now we continue down this path. Dominic, as you know, I'm going to assume you know, is in the real estate game. We talked about it on here, actually, right? Your boy, what's his name? Rich Dad Poor Dad?
Kawasaki?
Yeah. Did you hear what's going on there right now?
I butchered that. I do not know if the man's name is Kawasaki.
It's not Kawasaki. It's close to it. Hold up. I'll tell you right now. That's actually why I gave it to you. Kiyosaki. Very close.
Oh, I read that book like 30 years ago. I was a teenager when yeah.
You actually told me to read that book, I believe. Right. And back then there weren't books on tape, so I had to read that book. And man, was that took me a long time.
Well, I think I know where you're going with this.
Go with this then.
Is he like in hella debt?
Yes, he's in hella debt. Yes. You want to guess how much debt he's in?
Insane.
You want to guess how much debt he's in?
I don't know. It's something unfathomable.
Yes, make a guess.
It's make a guess. Like 100 million. Something crazy.
Keep going.
$500 million.
Keep going.
$1 billion?
Keep going.
No, I don't know, dude. He's more than
$1.2 billion in debt.
But what is that debt? Meaning, does he own so much real estate and he's got mortgages on them, or is it like
yes.
Credit card debts? And,
that's probably so. I don't know the specific.
So like that's a ambiguous term like that. Like
no valid. But hold up.
Like you own a house. Are you in debt? When we say in debt, we think of things like student loans, credit card, but your mortgage is a debt.
Very much so. There's equity being earned on the other side, but there is still a debt. Now the point being, but a bank won't go, hey Dominic, have 30 homes, knowing that there is a debt allocation to the mortgage dynamic that you have to pay at some point, right? So it is debt. Right. Him, on the other hand, has got 1.2 billion, which means they believe that he is good to go, right? The assumption the banks are making at that point is that he's creditworthy.
But what are the value of his assets? Do they greatly surpass that? Then it's fine. Each of those, let's say he's got, I'm just throwing out a number. Let's say he got X amount of properties and he's owes $1 million on them, and each one of them are worth double that and cash flowing. Boom.
I'm with you. I think that number, though, is astronomical. To your point, the fact that it took you this long, right? Yeah. $100 million is one thing. If you are, it's not like he's building or investing in, as far as I know, commercial dynamics. All these things are residential, et cetera. He's not building giant condominiums, which by then I would totally I'd be right there with you.
I did not know that. So then he's got.
Well, I mean, no, hold up. Again, I just started making that assumption based on what the book read and so on and so forth, and his investment things that were there, and he's gone into more of he's done the public tour or whatever, so his revenue streams are different. But when I hear 1.2 billion with a B, that is an exorbitant amount of money, right? And his thing was apparently this all came up because he had a Reels thing on this, right, where he was like, look, if I go down, the banks go down. So it is now in the bank's interest to keep this going, right, in that situation versus anything else, because the banks are holding the note for this, right? So he's become too big to fail to some level. So now you have to keep lending him on some point to make sure that he can kind of put his bill in the future, which is a great place to be as an individual. Normally companies get that allocation. As an individual, he built up such credit worthiness based on his book and his speaking tour that he was allowed to take out 1.2 billion in debt, which is amazing. I'm actually proud of this man. I'm like, well done. As an individual to have this much credit worthiness.
Bro,
that is phenomenal. Scary. AF.
Maybe not scary though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I don't. To your point, I don't know the other side. I don't know the other side. You're right. But bro, 1.2 billion. I mean, come on. I mean, how much? I mean, your cash flow has got to be exponential.
Yeah, wow. That's crazy.
I mean, yeah, blew my mind when I read that. I was like, this is something else. It's something else. So yeah.
For those people asking, Amit's Big Ben clock is no more. He moved, and did you dash it?
Yeah, it couldn't. It was, it had to be. So it was on the wall for a while. I was in the little apartment for like 2.5 years, give or take. And it had like It's Florida. Humidity is aggressive. So every time you'd open the window or whatever, and it was stuck to the wall, like adhesive stuck to the wall. So over time, it was really stuck to the wall. So when I was peeling it off, some of the wall could come with it as well. So even though I peeled the clock off the wall, it still had all the clock markers around the wall when I took it off. And I was like, oh crap, like the paint was gone with all that stuff. Remember you posted up on the wall in school and you take it down gingerly so it wouldn't F up the wall? Yeah. This was the opposite. The wall came with it, which was expected, but it'd been a couple years. But it did its job for a period of time, and there's no, yeah, I got the no, I'm getting a new one for this apartment. So it is what it is there. What was I going to tell you in this one?
World War II docuseries on Netflix is phenomenal.
Called?
World War II.
It's literally called that?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I was hoping you'd let me write it.
I was like, bro.
It's amazing. So much stuff I did not know. It's fascinating.
So you were recommending a doc of which the name you do not know.
Correct.
There you go. Thank you very much for doing so.
Did you know? I did not know this. It's not like I knew and I forgot. I didn't know that Hitler and Mussolini were trying to take over the world. I had no idea.
What did you assume they were doing?
Yeah, just doing Europe? Their thing, you know, the worst genocide of our generation. And
yeah, but you assumed they would stop at Europe? Be like, yeah, we're good. We're reaching the UK.
I didn't know literally the world.
How does what? Like
the world is a big place, Bridget.
Logically, you couldn't make that assumption?
No, I didn't know.
You think Genghis Khan was like, you know what? I'm done. I'm just gonna stop right here. Genghis Khan was like, how far can I keep going?
Yeah.
You think the Vikings were like, you know what? Let's stop. Yeah. Ain't nobody wanted to. None of these people went out to think, the Persian Empire. Let's just stop right here. We're good.
Yeah.
You couldn't carry the one on that one.
Persian Empire or Ottoman Empire?
Wow. So sorry. You're right. So my bad. Either way, my point stands. My point stands. You couldn't carry the one on that?
No. Never. It never dawned on me.
So you thought he was like, yo, let's just keep going west until we hit more.
It's like some of Africa, you know, maybe a little Asia, dabble in there, you know, get Japón on our side, and
yeah, wow. Yeah. That is so short-sighted of you.
Did not. Did you see IDF killed 3 Israeli hostages?
Mm-hmm. That was a while back, but yes.
I mean, we haven't been on since.
Yeah.
We haven't been on since we talked about that. It's just leads more to the similarities of how I feel about IDF and U.S. military similarities in the fuckery. And how they often get carte blanche. Is that the right term?
That is the right term.
Yeah.
And that often they are.
For transgressions.
The same as we do.
Yes. That's why
the same as we do.
Feel very similarly about them.
As you
should. But you'll never hear, and this happens so often when we illegally and unjustly invaded Iraq and all our invasions, meaning the U.S. military. It's obvious the issues that are inherent internally. When you have the Israeli military killing non-armed people, right? Who they thought were not theirs. You think this is the first time? But it gets a pass, right? Kind of, oh, well, you know, it's an accident, sad. Yeah, U.S., same shit. Anyway, what else you got?
What else do I got? Mine's on a lighter note. Do you have a Yeti?
Hell no.
Wow.
Why? Because you can just buy something cheaper on Amazon that is the exact same thing. So unless, I don't know, maybe culturally people like it for brand, meaning you like your Nike or Adidas because it has it versus another shoe that's just as functional. But for a Yeti, simple what name?
Amazon Basics?
Simple modern. Boom. Same shit. Exact same thing.
Is it icy all day?
And they're icy all day till the next day. Or if you put a warm soup in there, it bubbles and boils all day.
So the reason I'm bringing that up is, have you heard of Stanley?
Yes. Oh, Stanley is a. Did you hear how they blew up?
Yeah, that's what. This is my whole point of the Stanley.
Amazing.
This whole conversation. I was using the Yeti Stanley comparison. So now,
Amazing.
hold up. So now, would you buy a Stanley?
Personally, no. But my daughter wants a Stanley because that's
okay. This
yeah.
is my point. How did hold up? Yeti was all the rage for quite some time. Everybody had to have a Yeti.
Yes.
You're going to the beach, you need a Yeti. You're doing whatever, you need a Yeti. You need a koozie, it's a Yeti.
It was my understanding.
Blah, blah, blah,
it was a mom blog that blew
for
up.
Stanley.
Yes.
Yes.
And they went in sales from like 70 million to 750 million in one
so they
year.
brought in the new CEO, and the new CEO, I forgot where he came from before, but he did something similar. He rebranded business before in the same kind of vein. He brought back Crocs. I think it was the same guy who brought back Crocs.
Crocs I don't know numbers wise.
Crocs was around for a minute, but they weren't cool, and then they became cool.
I don't know how it is. Cool. Crocs are quote unquote cool now. Like you see every high school person, all these athletes, basketball, volleyball, football, adults, like everybody, like Crocs. I don't know how it happened. It's wild. So
do you have Crocs?
Do I like them?
You have them.
I do not.
Your kids?
Of course.
So
I fought for years. I didn't allow them to.
That's where you draw the line?
Yeah, I know.
On Crocs?
Kids aren't allowed to have Under Armour.
Hold up. Walk me through that one.
In fact,
my daughter's that one.
I'll tell you, my daughter's volleyball team is Under Armour, and their shoes and everything, and she just had to get socks to match. And I walked in the room last night. I go, I'm a freaking vomit. What the hell is this doing in here? Yeah, son's not allowed. Yeah, they know this.
No, but you want to tell the audience why?
Huh?
Tell the audience why.
Finding a corny ass brand.
That's the reason?
Yeah. What's his name? I think it was Trump bag, but being Trump supporters don't matter to me because I don't like Biden.
But then what's
anymore.
The issue? That's what I'm trying to understand.
It's a corny ass brand.
But what makes it corny?
Just is. I can't articulate it. The funny thing is, ironically, my brother-in-law feels the same way. We didn't even realize this.
Purely on the quote-unquote corniness of the brand.
It's a corny-ass brand.
And you said this, but I don't know what the hell that means, dog.
It just is. You won't catch me in it. I don't know
Adidas?
I can't articulate it.
Adidas?
Oh, yeah, of course.
So Adidas not corny?
No, never been.
Reebok?
No.
I'm trying to go through the list here of things that would be Puma. Definitely not corny. Guy, Jamaica.
Ready for it?
Go ahead.
On Cloud.
Corny brand?
Corny brand.
What about Hoka?
No.
Hold up, hold up, son. What makes Hoka? Hold up, guys. What makes On Cloud corny and Hoka like appropriate?
Like some of the,
about corny.
You know, a lot of it too is
corny.
kind of the people that wear it. The people that,
If I see somebody in Hoka, I'm assuming you've got some orthopedic issues, or you are a distance runner for days and an amazing athlete. Yeah. What I see with On Cloud, I'm like, you're trying to follow a trend. Like that's all that really is. It's not like you're a runner or whatever else. But I don't know how Hoka gets a pass and On Cloud is not. This is why I don't understand that in your dynamic or your thought process.
No, it's just a feeling. You can't really articulate it. You just know it.
Okay.
It's like my spidey sense.
I did. Wow. I was I did not know about your disdain for Under Armour.
And here's the biggest issue. The school my kids go to is officially sponsored now by Under Armour. So you got to see it everywhere all over campus. You got to see it on the jerseys. Everywhere you go, on the school uniforms, on the jerseys, banners all over campus, all in your grill.
And that is
it burns my retina. It seeds me. It burns me to the core.
Because of its corniness.
Yep.
All right.
Do you have any Under Armour?
I do not.
Yeah, see?
I'm trying to remember if I ever did, though. I may have had like a dry fit or something like that.
Yeah.
No, but I don't have anything. All my shorts are like that. Yeah, I don't have anything of that nature. But not because of the corniness. I don't even understand that. That's just a new one for me. But all right.
Kaboom.
Yeah, that covers everything. We good? You good for the new year?
Yeah. New year, new me. New year, new me.
What'd you do for New Year's?
I just went to a friend's house.
Till midnight? Were you out after midnight?
Yes. Till midnight.
I don't know, man. You know, your kids is with you?
No.
So you left the kids alone at home and went out?
No, they're at other people's houses.
Oh, so the kids are doing their own. So everybody's partying up in
Oh, yeah, the kids do their own things now. Yeah. Stay up late, too.
Wow. So the days of family dynamics have ended.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Godspeed with that. On that note, we will wrap it up. You guys have a good one. We'll chat soon.
Subscribe, like, review. We've had no issues recently for a while now with Apple. Spread the love. Give us a good review.
Talk soon, everybody.